G'day YouTube, Warbles on a lot here. Those of you familiar with my channel will be aware that about a year ago I made a video concerning the conundrum of the forcible change from disposable one-use thin plastic shopping bags to compulsory use of either a reusable, recyclable plastic tough bag administered at the cash register at a cost of 15 cents at per each, because these thingamajigs were considered to be a terrible menace to turtles and all kinds of other sea life. Now, I'd have to admit it's a fair while since the last time I spotted a turtle getting around the place. A tortoise, yeah, I've seen tortoises, but I've never seen a tortoise having trouble with a plastic bag. I've only ever seen tortoises, freshwater tortoises, have trouble with roads because they migrate after rain. And when they try to cross roads, they get frightened by the noise of the tyres and they pull their heads in and they get smacked by the tyres and turned into messes on the bitumen. However, back to the topic of plastic bags. The considered opinion is that most of Australia's population lives on the coastal fringe, and in order to force them to stop throwing away thin plastic bags that are a problem to turtles and to the sea life, therefore it was compulsorily brought in that right across New South Wales, the disposable bags had to go from the big supermarkets. Therefore, for 2 weeks, I was issued with tough bags. And being the sort of person that I am, it comes under the category of if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So how do you manage your garbage impact if you don't even know how many bags you're using, how many times a bag is used? So therefore, I have numbered the bags. I have numbered the times each reusable bag, which I was given a stack of. And some of them, I think I might have bought 3 or 4. The first time I left the bags in the car. When you leave the bags in the car and you arrive at the supermarket, you have to face the fact that you've got to walk back to the car and get the bags, or you've got to buy new bags. Once I bought new bags, then I felt like a fool because I had such a wad of bags. After that, I've made the trip. Doesn't matter if you've got a shopping trolley full of groceries. You can leave the groceries with the checkout chook and nobody is going to steal any of your groceries. They still belong to the store. Just tell them, oh, bags are in the car, I will return. So then you have to, or what I did was I trained the checkout chooks and young cocks to take the bags from the side that had the numbers written on them, and I stacked them with the high numbers at the top of the stack. So the bag that's been around the most is the one that gets used first next time, so that we could see how many times can a bag go to town? How many times can it be used? And you might get 3 times the amount in a new bag as you used to get in the old bag. Most of the time it's about 2.5 times. You're definitely going to get twice as much. So every time a new bag goes around the circuit, it saves at least 2 of the old bags. Okay, so let's have a look at last week's groceries. 5 bags, 2 with 12 trips, 2 with 11 trips, 1 with 10 trips. These 5 bags carried out $112 worth. And of course, after unpacking the groceries, you then have to flatten out your bags and roll them up and put them in the stack under a rubber band before you throw them back in the car. That way, A, they don't clutter up your humpy, and B, they are in the car next time you go shopping for the groceries. It's after you unpack them, before or when you wrap them up, that you get to add the tally marks. So, before I reach for the pen, this here top bag has been around 52 times. It's just made its 53rd trip. 47 times recorded on its 48th trip. What have we got? 10, 20, 30, 40, 41. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 28. And 14. So this is how the system can work. This one bag has saved at least 106 of these things. Now you might notice that we have grey bags and we have white bags. The grey bags are relics of the days when the supermarkets used to give away free bags. The white bags, they come from the bread shop. Between me and the wildlife, I go through a loaf of bread every day, and 6 of them every week come from the bread shop, which means 3 of these bags every week. And I don't actually generate a bag of garbage every day, every 2 days. So yeah, even with imaginative uses like storing your spare toilet paper in a plastic bag, I am still accumulating a pile of single-use thin polyethylene bags. But there's a fair argument to be made that these 5 bags between them have saved 350 of those in the year since the system was introduced, wherein for the first 2 weeks they gave you the bags for free. All you have to do is get your act together and fold up your used shopping bags and put them where they're going to be available next time you go shopping. And you have to go shopping on some kind of a regular, routine, ritual basis. This system's not going to work real well at all if you spontaneously drop into the shops while the bags are at home because you haven't bothered putting them back in the car. And if you don't have a car, if they're not in the bicycle pannier, and if you don't have a bicycle, they're not in the pocket of your walking coat or something. However, for the sake of all those poor little endangered sea turtles within plastic bag range of the deep water dump 130 miles from the coast, yeah, gives me a bit of a feel-good factor as a greenie to know that, save 350 bags by using those 5. And I know I'm not full of shit because I've got the tally marks on the bag so that I can prove me assertion, which is a kind of a satisfying thing for a mad scientist. This is one feel-good factor piece of greenwash which is probably worth doing. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.